Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. I'm Niladri Mukherjee. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I practice in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Government of Canada has brought in some super stringent measures when it comes to the Canadian temporary resident visa / visitor visa effective November 6th, 2024 through a program delivery instruction. As a part of that program delivery instructions, the actual reviewing officers at IRCC will now have discretion on many of the significant aspects of the Canadian temporary resident visa. Okay. Number one discretion they will have is to obviously to decide whether they will issue a visa or not. Okay. Second discretion is that whether if they decide to issue you a visa, whether that visa will be for a single entry visa or a multiple entry visa. So by default these days, majority of the visas will be are for multiple entry visas. Those things will now be changed. Officers will have a discretion to decide based on your purpose of travel and host of other factors that I will be talking in a second to decide whether they will issue a single entry visa or a multiple entry visa. Thirdly, even if they decide to issue you with a multiple entry visa, they will now have the increasing discretion to figure out or to take a decision on whether the duration of that multiple entry visa will be for full 10 years or a 1 year or a 2 year would suffice your need. These things are absolutely new and would impact a bunch of travelers in the months and in the years to come. In making those decisions, the government has put together a range of factors which are predominantly all come under regulations 179 anyways, but they put together a range of factors which will be now be looked into in a more granular way, in a more stringent way, if you will. The first factor that we'll be paying an increasing attention on is your purpose of visit. So if you're writing something like those standard templated itineraries that Niagara Falls, CN Tower, etc., you will probably not receive a multiple entry visa. Even if you do receive a single entry visa, probably you will not receive a visa for 2 to 3 weeks. So the purpose of travel becomes even more crucial than what it used to be. Number two is the amount of money that you have. Forget about the sponsor. The amount of money that you have in your bank account lying there for at least a consecutive period of 4 to 6 months. So if you are making a purpose of travel or a travel itinerary for, let's say, 3 weeks, and if IRCC is able to establish that you do not have significant amount of money in your account, they will probably not issue you a visa. Okay. Third thing is the medical / health conditions. If they're able to figure out or find out due to anything that you have any significant medical condition that would have a potential impact with your presence in Canada on our healthcare system, you will probably not issue a visa. Other factor are the political or the socio-economic situation of your country. So even if you are doing extremely well financially and otherwise in your country, but if your country in general is going through a struggle, you will probably not be getting a visa. Let's say, for example, Lebanon. If you are a Lebanese living in Lebanon doing extremely well, but the country is at war, so the possibility of you procuring a visa probably will not be, very high. It's not specific to Lebanon. Situations like this, okay, will be taken into consideration in an extremely serious way. The other factors are the ties to Canada vis-a-vis ties to home country. Okay, so if you have significant ties to Canada, on the balance of probabilities, you have to establish that you would indeed be leaving Canada well within the time maximum period authorized for your temporary stay. So regardless of your ties in Canada, you should have a stronger ties to your home country for you to be able to motivated enough to leave. That's something you have to place an increasing emphasis on. All these factors, now if you go to the Government of Canada website, you have all these factors listed down anyways. All these factors in conjunction with one another would have a significant impact on determining your eligibility of number one, a visa issuance. Number two, if it is true, then whether that's for one-time entry or multiple entry, and if it's multiple entry, then what will be the duration of your visa. So regardless of the 10-year validity of your passport, you may not receive a visa for a whole 10 years, and you may not even receive a multiple entry visa any longer. So these are very significant and strictest changes, if you will. And if you need our assistance with, first of all, evaluating your situation to understand whether there is even a necessity or a justification for you to apply for a temporary resident visa or no, come for a consultation, because in majority of the times in my consultation with visitor visa, I just figure out that the applicants are not eligible to get a visa. So at least you know that you are not eligible, then you don't spend your time, money, and energy, right? But if you know that you're eligible, then spend your time, money, and energy in a direction that would have a potential to success. If you need our assistance, more than welcome to hop into our website, nuvonation.ca, book a relevant professional consultation, and we could go from there. Hope this helps. Bye now.